Hello and welcome to the Squire Gymnasium. The Calvin Christian Squires taking on the Covenant Christian Chargers tonight here in our first Friday night basketball game between the Squires, the home Squires of Calvin Christian and the visiting Chargers of Covenant Christian. Joined alongside me tonight is Matt Fabiano. And Matt, we got a non-conference duel tonight. Usually these two teams do match up during the playoffs, but this year it has all changed. And Calvin will be not facing these Chargers. The Chargers coming in tonight's game from just north on Wilson there, just north of Butterworth and Johnson Park. They coming into the contest, as I got the wrong thing here. They come in the contest at 0-2, the Chargers. And the Calvin Christian Squires come in at 0-3, and both teams are winless. So one of these teams will pick up a win here, and usually when these two teams meet up, it's a fabulous game. The common opponents, Unity Christian High School, home of the Crusaders. Calvin lost to Unity 59-27, and Covenant Christian lost almost by the identical score at 51-33. Coming into today's game, Covenant averages 40 points per game, giving up 50.5. Calvin averages 28.3 and gives up 58.3 points per game. Both of these teams are very, I can't say seasoned, but just an early start to their season. And, early starts to the season always don't mean much. It's how you finish the season. Right, Matt?
Oh, absolutely. The end of the season is always the most important part. And, I mean, kind of, even though you're saying seasoned, I noticed a big thing with the Calvin Christian girls is that they only have one senior on their team.
Okay.
So that means that either last year they had a bunch of seniors leave, or they didn't.
I think they did. I think they had like 4 or 5 leaves. So, it's not. They're relying on experience this year of the underclassmen, not and especially that only senior on the team. They're looking for her leadership on the court.
Yeah, and that 0-3 start. That's really going to be put to test. And it can't always be on one person, as we were saying last week with the Hudsonville girls game.
Yeah.
But one person can make a massive difference, and that's where that senior leadership comes in.
Yeah, with senior leadership, you kind of look at that and say, you kind of, with a senior, leading a team, that kind of can help you in the long run, because, it might help the underclassmen, for next year. It's going to help them for next year. They're going to have experience going into next year, but it just, for the underclassmen, that kind of helps them out in their, in a normal situation. If you don't have any underclassmen, it kind of hurts you.
Yeah.
Because we've seen a team, I don't remember what team, but they lost almost their whole entire starting lineup, and then they had to rely on their juniors and their sophomores from the last year, and it didn't look good. But this year looks good for Calvin Christian. Brighter skies ahead. The head coach for the Calvin Christian Squires has been DeWall Malafite in his second season, while Doug Kaptein comes in from the Chargers side of things. Covenant has 411 students. Calvin has 260 students. You see a big gap there, but we'll get to this in the boys' game too. But last year, Covenant was 19-6 overall. Calvin was 15-8, 13-1 from the OK Silver, and their only loss was to North Point.
Wow.
So they kind of tied the OK Silver. They both shared it last year, North Point and Calvin. Covenant lost to Niles Brandywine. Niles Brandywine, 34-43 in the quarterfinals. We're going to look at this into the boys' game too. The boys lost in the quarterfinals too to Niles Brandywine. So there must be some good teams. But normally, whoever comes out of this district, in the boys or girls, goes quite a ways, and we've seen it. I mean, I've seen it quite a few times.
Yeah, and I would say like both having fairly good seasons last year. So I mean, even though tough starts, definitely something to build off of last year.
Especially going forward, you might not start the season real good, but you're going to gain experience as the season goes along. And I've seen that, a lot of teams. You see that, it's a rough start, but once they get the meld going. The team melds, and it's all right in the end.
Yeah, and I figured out the best bonding is team experience. You can't really get a better thing to form a bond between rather than that. And as I did like the game film for basketball and stuff when I was in high school, I really saw that, like traveling with the teams and everything. I saw how these teams really bond as a season goes on.
The OK Silver and girls variety right now is Belding on top at 2-0. Nobody's played a conference game yet. They'll start those after the new year. But Belding's on top at 2-0 in the OK Silver. One game back is Godwin Heights 1-0. That's a good start there for the Wolverines of Godwin Heights. Hopkins is at 1-2 along with Kellogg'sville. Kellogg'sville is a team that's usually on the bottom of the OK Silver. They don't use this. Might be their only. This looks like a good start there for the Rockets of Kellogg'sville. Comstock Park 0-3 has a new head coach. Fruitport comes in new to the conference this year. They come over from the OK Blue last year, so they're probably a welcome here to the to the OK Silver. North Point and Calvin both tied 0-3. You look at the record last year, as I said, North Point and Calvin shared the OK Silver, but right now, both 0-3 start. It's not good, and there's three teams with 0-3 start there in the OK Silver. The boys, we'll do the boys game in a separate broadcast, but the boys looking ahead to the boys game. It's the opposite of this. It's 2-2 Covenant and 1-3 Calvin. Calvin not off to a good start, but somebody I know told me that Calvin does not have any height, and it didn't look like when we looked at the rosters before the start of the game, and it didn't look like they have any height. So.
See, they have
their tallest guy is
6'7".
Is 6'7" for 6'7". They got battle 6'7" inside. Both Covenant and Calvin both have 6'7". One's a junior and one's a senior, so height doesn't always mean nothing. Usually, if you take those two off the map and you look at the rest of the roster, and anything can happen.
It is a little humbling being 22 and being shorter than some high schoolers, though.
Yeah. So that is our pregame show brought to you by Healthcare Associates and Community Caregivers here in Granville. This is a short drive here from Calvin Christian High School. We'll get to our start of our ball game in just a few moments. You're watching the Ville Sports Network and WCT-TV, your local cable access station for the Granville and Hudsonville communities. and we had a technical difficulty. We'll get to that in just a few moments. But we're about ready to play as we're underway, and the scoreboard is operated tonight by my brother, Mr. Dale Waring. So Kelvin will start with the basketball. They'll work it around to number 2 in Nelson. We'll work it around to Walcott. It's going to be stolen by the Chargers of Covenant Christian. Just up Wilson Avenue. If you know where Johnson Park is, it's about a good mile from Johnson Park. Be on your left side of the road or the west side of the road. It's a beautiful facility. I've been there multiple of times as Rhodes is smothered in the corner. She gets out of the corner, but we're going to pick up a foul on the Chargers. It'll be the first foul of tonight's ball game. It's going to be on number 14, Muhlenberg, her first, team first. And Kelvin will retain possession with 7:23 to go. We are scoreless in today's ball game. Kelvin had a hard time getting it in. That's going to be a 5-second call. Could not get the ball in. Could the Squires? That was number 2, Layla Nelson. Here come the Chargers. It's Muhlenberg with the basketball. We'll work it around. It was Muhlenberg to Muhlenberg. Inside, and nice pass inside. Almost. That should have been an easy basket for the Chargers, and we're still scoreless with 7 minutes to go. That's Nelson with the basketball. She'll work it inside, and we're going to pick up our second foul. And Rhodes was the recipient of the pass inside. It's going to be Muhlenberg, her second. 2 straight for Muhlenberg and 2 fouls for the Chargers of Covenant Christian. As we sit courtside here, thanks to Mr. Sean Wienhoff. That's Nelson with the basketball. She'll work to the top. In the corner to Walcott. Around the perimeter to Gritter. That's Nelson. Working around side, inside. Easy basket, no good for the Squires. 6.5 to go. That's 14 in Muhlenberg. I'll work it around a bump, and I think we're going to get a foul on the Squires. It was Brooklyn to Muhlenberg. Picking up the foul on the Squires. It's going to be on Durham, her first, team first. And the Chargers will retain possession of the basketball. 6:28 to go. Triple try is no good for Smith and Muhlenberg, and the Squires have the basketball. That's Rhodes, and it's going to be a foul on the on the Covenant Christian Chargers. That's 20. And Holstig, her first, team third. I could hear Coach Doug Kaptein in my headset yelling at the officials. Nothing comes out of it. There's a triple try for the Squires in Nelson, no good. Here comes Muhlenberg. Looking to go coast to coast, she'll pass it off. Almost in the corner. The Chargers. That's going to be tipped out by Rhodes and retain possession with the Chargers. Checking in for the Covenant Christian Chargers. Holstig in Muhlenberg gets replaced. Triple try for 20 in Holstig, no good. Nelson gets the rebound, and Nelson will have a 5:36 to go as we are scoreless, and out of bounds goes Walcott. So turnover for the Squires. Thanks for joining us here on the Ville Sports Network. Across the globe on YouTube at Hudsonville Grandville Community Media. Brower gets 2 points for the Chargers. They lead 2-0 over the Squires with 5:15 to go here in our first quarter. That's Rhodes with the basketball. She's going to drive the baseline, penetrate, and go to Durham. It's going to be stolen. A nice tip out by 22 for the Chargers. Brower. And Walcott. Actually, Nelson over to Durham. Durham, Walcott. Durham gets it back, and Rhodes. It's going to be stolen by the Chargers. And they'll work it up with 4:40 to go. So halfway through our third. Nelson gives it back to the Chargers, and basket for 32 in Muhlenberg. Actually, that's Brower in. She has 4 points for the Chargers. They lead 4-0 with 4:20 to go here in our first quarter. Two winless teams here on the court tonight. One's got to win and one's got to lose. Doesn't mean if you. It doesn't mean if you. I know I want to say, but it's not coming out. So Nelson gets it over to Walcott. Walcott's going to toss it back, and that's going to go out of bounds. It'll be Charger basketball. Checking in for the Chargers, number 10, Brands.
12, Hartman, and 14, Vanderwall for the Squires.
Hartman and Vanderwall for the Squires. Get to those starting lineups. You missed them here on our broadcast. We'll get to those. And it's going to be stolen right back by the Chargers. Triple try, in and out. And nice rebound for the Chargers up. And we're going to go foul on the Squires. One line to shoot two would be number 22 in Annika Brower. Foul's going to be on number 30, Rhodes. Will be her first, team second. And Brower will be shooting a pair. As they lead 4-0 to the Chargers. The first one is no good. As Brower has all the points for the Covenant Christian Chargers with 3:42 to go. She has one more. And it's good. She has 5 now in the book. And they lead 5-0, 3:42 to go. She went after her shot, too. Thinking that it was begin no good. That's Nelson with the basketball for the Squires. And that's going to be almost airmailed. That's Rhodes. And ball's on the floor, and it's going to go to the Chargers of Covenant Christian. It'll be Holstig over to Brands. The triple try. Good. That's a 2-point basket. Holstig with 2 now. And they lead 7-0 with exactly 3 minutes to go. Kelvin has come up empty in every trip down the court. And they'll work it inside to the Chargers. That was Brower, no good. And here comes Nelson. Nelson gets it over to Rhodes. Rhodes, she'll drive. And she is fouled. That will be foul number 4 on the Chargers.
32, Brooklyn Muhlenberg with a foul. The first.
Brooklyn Muhlenberg, her first, team 4th. And the Chargers will have one more foul to give, and Kelvin will be the line to shoot 2. New change in high school sports. 5 fouls is 2 shots automatically instead of 10. So we divide it in half. That's Hartman. That's 33 in Van Workum. And Vanderwall over to Nelson. Nelson with the basketball, 2:15 to go. Squires trailing by 7. That's Rhodes. Rhodes up on the drive. Rhodes no good. And usually Rhodes is automatic when she gets inside. And that was almost a travel by the Covenant. Nice spin move by the Chargers. They come up empty with just a tick under 2. Fast-paced ball game haven't had any many whistles as Rhodes hits the misses the three-point shot. That's 30 in Overloop. A triple no good by 2 in Vanderschaft. It's actually not Vanderschaft, that was Holstig. Here comes Nelson. Looking to break the ice for the Squires. It's Nelson. Switches sides of the court. She'll work it inside. And nice pass to Rhodes. That's going to go out of bounds.
15, Jaden Westra in for the Chargers. 23, Elena Becker in for the
Becker in for the Squires.
replace Rhodes.
And Rhodes will sit down. 7-0 is the score. 1:15 to go in our first quarter as that one goes right into the Charger bench. It's going to remain with the Chargers. Ben Overloop has it. Gets it in to Vanderschaft. 1 minute to go here in our first quarter. Glad you joined us from the home of the Squires on Ivanrest Avenue in Granville. Chargers 2-point shot in and out. And getting the rebound for the Squires was Van Werkum. That's Nelson. Nelson the triple try to get the ice going, and there it goes.
3 points for Layla Nelson.
Layla Nelson gets the scoring going. It took nearly 7.5 minutes to go, or 7 minutes and a half eclipsed in the first quarter to get their first point on the board. It's 7-3. Squires trail by 4. So we're going to tick under the 15-second mark. And we're going to pick up a shooting foul here, I think, with 2 shots. For number 24
Number 14,
in DeVries. Vanderwall is going to pick up her first. And the third team foul for the Squires. And number 24, Avery DeVries, will be shooting 2. First one is no good. And Rhodes is going to check in for the Squires to replace Hartman. Avery Reese looking to go 1 for 2 from the line, and she goes 0 for 2 from the line. Fails to coup as Rhodes is no good. And Rhodes gets it right back. And she's going to try to get it over to Nelson, but she's going to be fouled on by number 2 in Vanderschaft.
Foul's called number 2, Vanderschaft.
Vanderschaft.
15 foul for the Chargers. Rhodes will shoot 2.
So Rhodes will be shooting 2. She's usually automatic from the free throw line. She has 1 point in the scorebook, looking for point number 2, going 2 for 2 from the line, and she will. They trail by 2 now. So it's a 5-0 run for the Squires. 7-5 is the score, 3.5 to go. That's 3.5 seconds to go. A good half-court shot on its way, and that's going to be blocked in after 1 quarter of play. It is the Chargers, the visiting Chargers from Covenant Christian 7, and the home Squires 5. You're watching the Ville Sports Network and WCTV. Welcome back to Calvin Christian High School, where the Squires score 5 straight points after Covenant Christian scores 7. And that's how our score is at 7-5. The Squires are led by Nelson with 3. Eddie Rhodes 2 for 2 from the line, while Covenant Christian has 5 from Annika Brower with 5. She's 1 for 2 from the line. And the other 2 points belong to Holstig. So the Covenant Christian Chargers will have the basketball as we begin our second quarter of play. And on the baseline or the baseline drive. It'll be a foul on the Squires. It's going to be on number 14. It's actually Durham. Her second, team first of the second quarter. 7:47 to go. No, this is not a jumble jet. It's 7:47. On the drive for the Chargers was 14, and the shot by Brand's no good, and they'll retain possession. Will the Chargers? 30 seconds elapsed here in our second quarter from the home of the Squires. You're watching the Ville Sports Network and WCGTV. That one's going to be on the ground and will be controlled by Covenant. That's 14 in Muhlenberg. The triple try, no good for number 2 in Vanderschaft. And here come the Squires. And that was 12 in Morgan Hartman, no good. And the ball underneath, and we're going to have a tie-up. And it's going to favor the Squires. Rhodes has it. So Rhodes over to 23 in Becker. Rhodes, and that's going to be knocked out by the Chargers. Remain with the Squires. Tossing the ball in will be Becker. Going to try to find Rhodes. She finds Rhodes. Rhodes in the coffin corner. Becker. Opposite corner is 12 in Hartman. That's Becker. Rhodes. Nelson, no good. And rebound will go to 20 in Gritter. Shot no good by Rhodes. And Vanderschaft with the rebound. She'll work it up for the Chargers. 7-5 is the score. And took 7 minutes and 30 seconds to score their first basket for Calvin. And it's been all Calvin since then. As the shot is no good by Hartman. And the Chargers will work it up court. That's Muhlenberg. Muhlenberg wide open, the triple, no good. And she'll get the loose ball. She'll try it again. She's also no good on the three-point shot again. So third time the charm, no good. And that's going to be tracked down by, it's ball on the floor, and it's going to be held ball, and it's going to stay with the Chargers. 5.5 to go. Nelson's in for the Squires and replace Hartman. 7-5 is the score. We haven't had any scoring for quite some time. Vanderschaft. Triple try in the corner, no good. And nobody's been hitting their three-point baskets tonight. Only one on the night is to Layla Nelson. As she's going to pull, no good. And the rebound we tracked down by Covenant. And it's going to stay with the Squires as she steps out of, or the Chargers step out of bounds.
20, Macy
Holsteg in for the Chargers. And Kelsbeek is also in to replace Vanderschaft. Just about 5 minutes to go. And nobody has scored here in our second quarter. The score remains 7-5. A 5-0 lead or run for the Squires. Nobody's hitting their shots tonight. It's a low-scoring game, especially in our second quarter, just about halfway through, and that's going to be a traveling call. They haven't traveled that far. Only traveled 11 minutes has traveled in today's game. And we're going to pick up a foul on the Chargers.
Offensive foul number 4, Kelsby, her first.
It'll be Kelsbeek, her first. 7-5 is the score. Rhodes with the ball, gets it into Nelson. 4 and about half. Now it's going to be tipped out to Nelson. No good is Lauren Gritter, and we're going to pick up a foul on the Chargers. It's going to be on 20. That's Holsteg, her second. Team second. 4 and 26 to go. Nelson in the corner of the triple. No good. And the rebound will go to the Chargers of Covenant Christian. Muhlenberg. Work it around, try to work it inside, but Nelson gets it. And it's going to give to Nelson. Nelson has it. Rhodes behind her. She picks up her, gets the dribble off. Gets it over to Walcott. Walcott, Nelson, inside. And the ball is stolen by the Chargers. Then it's stolen right back by Kelvin. And it's going to go to Covenant. We're going to have a full timeout to Coach Kaptein. It's going to be a full timeout. And the ball's right beside us here. Right beside the broadcast booth. I don't know if it's a booth, but broadcast table at Kelvin, as you see on the screen right there. Oh, Matt just doesn't know where to go. Yeah, nice job there by Matt Fabiano, our cameraman tonight. And it's right next to us, literally about where the official's standing, but you come out of bounds. As 7-5 is the score. We haven't had scoring since, I think it's about the 10-second mark in the first quarter. 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. We haven't had any scoring here in the second quarter. And Kelvin's on a 5-0 run. And they trail by 2. After Covenant goes on a 7-0 run. First basket came at 7:30 to go, or 30 seconds to go in our first, or 7 minutes and 30 seconds elapsed. As the Chargers, number 32 has it, Muhlenberg. That's Brooklyn Muhlenberg. Gets it in to Samantha Muhlenberg. Work it inside to the Chargers. Nice block by Kelvin. Covenant's going to go baseline, and out of no man's land was 32 in Brooklyn Muhlenberg, and we're going to pick up a Covenant Charger foul. That'll be the team third. It'll be Muhlenberg's third. It's number 14 in Samantha Muhlenberg. Holstege will come in for Muhlenberg, I believe. She is 3. So far, Kelvin and Covenant has not break the ice here in the second quarter. This could be a history-breaking show. The lowest points scored, and both teams scoreless with points in a quarter. Ever since I joined the staff and crew here at WCTV, we have not had that happen. And Coach Ben DeWall in my fight looks at and it's going to go to the Squires. He looked at the referee, told him where the ball was going to go. 3 minutes to go here in our second quarter. It's not been boring, but it's been well-played basketball by both teams. Good defense, good offense, but the offense hasn't sparked for either team. That's 22 in Lexi Hetrick. It's Rhodes has it. It wasn't Hetrick. My apologies. That's Nelson with the basketball. Gets a screen by number 20 in Gritter. And it's going to stay with the Squires with 2.5 to go. Hartman's going to check in for number 23 in Becker. It's not how you think Becker spelled, but Becher. Usually it's a K. But Kelvin has the basketball. It's going to be stolen by Covenant on the inbound. That's 3 in Holstig. And she's going to pull about a foot outside the three-point arc, and it's going to be no good. And here comes Rhodes for Kelvin with 2:15 to go, and she'll be shooting 2. Who's 2 for 2 from line is Rhodes. And Covenant's going to pick up a foul. It's going to be number 3. Holstig, her first, team at number 4. And Rhodes looking to break the ice here for the Squires. She's 2 for 3 from the line, unofficially. Van Workum is in for the Squires. 7-5 is the score. Remain scoreless here in our second quarter as Rhodes is usually automatic from the line. She is now 2 for 4 and 50% from the line with 2:10 to go. No scoring here in the second quarter. 7-5 remains the score, and Kelvin will get the steal. That's Nelson to Rhodes. Back to Nelson. She'll set up on top. Let's see what combination works tonight, because no combination's working right now. Rhodes is usually the lean point scorer for the Kelvin Christian Squires as Rhodes puts it in for 2. She has 4 points now, and that breaks the ice with 1.5 to go. 7-7 is the score. Chargers and the Squires tied up at 7. Kelvin's on a 7-0 run in just about 8 minutes of total time. Hartman picks up her first. Team's second. And a whole slew of subs for the Chargers. Tongue twister there. 1:27 to go, and we should have a held ball, but it's going to be held ball now.
Held ball. Squares.
It's going to favor the Squires of Kelvin Christian. Kelvin has the game tied up at 7, having on a 7-0 run. The Chargers are up 7-0. That's 7 unanswered by the Squires. There's 15 for the Chargers has it. And that was Westra. And we're going to pick up a foul on Nelson. Be her first. And the Squires' third. The only one that really is out in foul trouble right now are the Covenant Christian Chargers with a minute to go. It's Vanderschaft. That's 21 in DeVries. We'll work it outside, and let's see who Covenant can come back on top. Or can Kelvin go into the locker room leading? As we're tied at 7s. That's Nelson. Let's work it around. Block right in the corner, right by the Covenant student section. And they applaud for it. They like that. With 20 seconds to go, and that's going to be a loose ball. And it's going to stay with the Chargers. But I thought it went off of the Chargers. $20.9 to go. Second quarter, we're tied at 7. Lowest scoring game, I think, in our history is Kelvin's on a 7-0 run. Rhodes has 4 of those 7. The 3 belong to Nelson. As the shot is no good, and we're going to end our halftime with a score 7-7, tied at 7 between the Chargers of Covenant Christian and the Kelvin Christian Squires. Will return in just a few moments. You're watching the Ville Sports Network in WCT-TV, your local cable access station. Welcome back to Kelvin Christian High School, where we're tied at 7 at halftime, and joining alongside me tonight, or right now, is Matt Fabiano. And Matt, Kelvin on a 7-0 run after Covenant scores 7 points. So we've had a hard-fought basketball game between two very good teams.
Yeah, I would agree. I think a big thing right now for Covenant is fouls. They got once again really close to the bonus, almost as they did in the first. For Kelvin, I would say they got to be more aware of where they are in the court. They got better here in the second quarter with that. But in the first quarter, there was a lot of turnovers where they were going out of bounds or just really bad passes. But overall, defense has been really good.
Yeah, I think the one thing both coaches are going to have to emphasize in the locker room right now is turnovers and control the ball, because control the ball really I think is kind of even right now. I first thought Covenant was just going to storm the doors off because they were shooting pretty good, but then they went ice cold and Kelvin kind of woke up a little bit. Kelvin took nearly 7.5 minutes to go to score their first point, but they're on a 7-0 run in it to halftime. Eddie Rhodes right now is 2 for 4 from the line and 2 points from inside the arc. She has 4 points. The other 3 belong to Layla Nelson. And another emphasis into the locker room right now is 3-point shooting. Don't take 3 points unless you know you're possibly going to make them. Even though if you're open, take it, but don't really take it unless you really have to. You can, because there's only been one. I think maybe a handful have been shot all night, but only one's gone in.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like with a game this close, you can't make shooting mistakes or make have a costly miss that could lead to the doors being blown open, or a shift in momentum like we've seen.
Yeah, we've seen kind of a shift in momentum when Covenant Christian subbed in 4 players there late into the second quarter. You kind of seen Coach Kaptein go to his bench there, and I think things have sparked up a little bit. For Covenant, nobody's really found the nucleus to work tonight.
Yeah.
As of we saw Hudsonville, their nucleus is good.
Yeah, and I mean that's really what you got to have. You have to have those strong central players.
Yep.
And when you don't have that, you get games like tonight, where it's just nothing is working great.
I don't know about great, but nothing's really working at all.
Yeah.
It's usually when they're dribbling out the ball, you give it to Rhodes, who's your really star player. You give it to her and let her, get some of the plays. But every time they get it to her, there's defense in her face or she's not open. But when they get it to her, she's got to remain inside get inside. Don't work on the outside arc. You get inside, post up, and then you'll probably make your shots.
And I absolutely agree with that. I think another thing, though, to kind of focus on for them, too, is composure. Because a lot of these shots that were inside that they just missed, it's like they were just rushing them because they knew.
Or forced. Kind of forced shots, like as you're saying, that don't want to force them up. Just take your time, set up your play, you run your play, because Covenant's going to come up with a defense that's going to try to counter that. But I think more it's just turnovers. It's costing both teams momentum here in the game. But I think Kelvin has the momentum going into the locker room, as they scored 7 straight. Only 2 by Rhodes there in the second quarter. So scoring in that second quarter is 2-0. But this is a low-scoring game, especially at halftime.
Yeah, 7-7. When we were kind of looking at the scores in pregame, I wasn't expecting an extremely high-scoring game. I wasn't expecting 7 to 7.5.
No, I wasn't. This is about, I think, the worst I've seen Kelvin play since I've basically took the broadcast. But, yeah, averaging 28 points. It's kind of in Kelvin's favor right now, I think. You know, with averaging 28 points. And you kind of look at Covenant, they average 40 points, but they give up 50. I think that's a big star right there, too. There's only, you know, and Kelvin's giving up 58, so they're pretty equal there. But I think it's the advantage goes to Covenant because I think they've played some very good teams. They played a Unity who is mediocre, you know, middle of the conference usually. And Lowell usually is mediocre too. But Kelvin's played a tough schedule. They played Grand Haven, who's Division One. They're usually good. Unity's, you know, average like Kelvin is, and Holland Christian only scoring 18 points against Holland Christian. That's kind of setting up to, you know, is your team really melding right now? But I don't think they are.
Oh, I would absolutely agree that they're not. I mean, like you said, Unity Christian is usually okay, but Grand Haven.
Yeah, usually they're the stud, but they only lost by 12 to Kelvin.
That I was just going to point that out.
Yeah, you can point that out.
That's kind of the shocking part is like, look at Unity Christian, Holland Christian. These teams who aren't usually stellar teams, just dominating them, and then they go to play Grand Haven, and it's a 12-point loss. So either or they played Grand Haven week 1.
Oh, yeah, right off the start, you play a tough team. Yeah.
So I had my vision reversed. But that is interesting that they started with the 12-point loss.
Yep.
And then played these teams that aren't as good. And
they're just as good as the team shows. You know, they're good, but they're not super. You know?
Yes. So I think that's an interesting thing because it almost seems like something after that 12-point loss stopped clicking.
Yep.
And that's where you can't have it.
Yep. Like the team must have melded that day and is taking a break here going into the Christmas break. So we're just about ready to end our halftime show brought to you by Healthcare Associates and Community Caregivers and Mr. Larry Treese just down the road here from Kelvin Christian. Our score is tied at 7, and we will join you for the third and fourth quarters, the second half, in just a few moments. You're watching the Ville Sports Network and WCTV, your local cable access station for the Granville-Hudsonville communities. Welcome back to Granville Kelvin Christian, where we're tied at 7 after one half of play between the Chargers of Covenant Christian and the Kelvin Christian Squires. It's been a 7-0 run for both teams, a 7-0 run for the Covenant Christian Chargers to start the game, and it's been 7 unanswered from Kelvin. And that's how we're at 7-7. So Covenant will start with the basketball here in the second half. They'll get it in, and 8 minutes on the clock, and we're ready to go. Let's see what teams emphasize, or the coaches talked about in the halftime break, and we'll see if it really works out. As the shot is good for number 14 in Samantha Muhlenberg. And again, the scorebook. It only took them less than 30 seconds to score their first basket in quite a long time, and over a quarter. 9-7 is the score. Covenant on top as Rhodes puts one up, no good. She tries to go baseline, and 7 is Covenant has it. Hopefully Covenant and Calvin can get the scoring going when they're in front of their own bench. If the shot is no good for Brooklyn Muhlenberg. Here comes Rhodes. Rhodes going to go coast to coast. She puts it up and in, and an and one opportunity for Eddie Rhodes.
Down the basket by Eddie Rhodes.
The and one opportunity. Brower picks up her first for the Chargers. And the Rhodes for the and one opportunity here as we're tied at 9. And she is 2 for 5 from the line, is Addie Rhodes. She leads all points with 6 now. 9-9 is the score, 6:45 to go. Rhodes with the rebound, the loose rebound on the defensive side, gets it over to Nelson. Nelson will full court it up, and they'll work it around to Wolcott. Rhodes, the triple. Good! Addie Rhodes is waking up. She has 5 here and 9 overall. 12-9 is the score, and a scramble on the floor, and it's going to favor the Squires. Addie Rhodes has 5. She's, as I said, 2 for 5 from the line. She has all points with 9. That's Wolcott over to Rhodes. And that's going to be out of bounds. The intended receiver was number 24 in Durham. Turnover, Squires. Shot no good by Brower for the Chargers. And here comes Nelson. Nelson looking to go coast to coast, puts it up no good. An easy rebound for the Chargers of Covenant. 5:45 to go. Third quarter. This, I guess, is the most points we've scored in the first couple of minutes of any quarter by both teams. And Wolcott gets the rebound right to Rhodes. Rhodes has it, puts one up. No good. No Squires in the vicinity for a rebound. It's all Chargers. That's Muhlenberg with the ball. Goes right past Nelson, and she's going to put it up. But preventing the shot was a foul on the Squires, number 24. Durham, her third. First on the Squires.
2 shots for Samantha Muhlenberg.
And Antoline to shoot 2 is number 14 in Samantha Muhlenberg. She's 1 for 1, looking to go 2 for 2 and get 4 points and get the lead down to 1, but it's going to stay at 2. It's going to stay with the Chargers as it goes off of the Squires. 12-10 is the score. Squires up by 2.
And for the Squires, she'll replace Durham.
Durham is replaced by number 12 in Hartman. Covenant had a little hard time getting it in. They do get it in. It's Kelsbeek. It's going to be stolen by Nelson. Battled back by Samantha Muhlenberg. Muhlenberg in the backcourt. 10 seconds. She has 10 seconds to get it past. She does. Muhlenberg inside, and Rhodes gets it. Looking to go coast to coast is Addie Rhodes, and she's going to be fouled on the play by 32 in Brooklyn Muhlenberg.
Foul's called on number 32.
That'll be her second, team second.
Second team foul for the Chargers.
4:43 to go.
Lubbers come in for Covenant.
As Lubbers comes in for Covenant. She'll replace Kelsbeek. Kellner obtains possession. 4:40 to go. That's going to be ball open. That's 12 in Hartman. Gets it over to Wolcott. Wolcott has it over back to Hartman, and she gets it off after plinking it off of her opponent, 14 in Samantha Muhlenberg. And we're going to pick up another Charger foul. It's going to be on number 20. Macy Holstake, her third. Team third. 4.5 to go. Triple try in the corner, no good. And the rebound will go to 22 in Brower of the Chargers. That's Muhlenberg to Lubbers. Lubbers falls down, gets it to 32 in Muhlenberg. It's going to be no good, and it's going to go to the Charger or the Squires. And for Covenant is Vanderschaff, replacing number 20, Holsteg. So Rhodes has it for the Squires. I think you want to put it in Nelson's hands, get it over to Rhodes. Because Rhodes is your floor general right now. She's been on the team all 3 years. Rhodes is no good, and she's going to battle for the rebound. It's going to be won by Covenant as they trail by 2 with just a tick under 4, 12-10. We've had some scoring early in the quarter. Now it's been a little quiet for both teams. It's 5-3 in the scoring here in the second quarter. Squires have 5 in the quarter, and the Covenant has 3 as Walcott gets it over to Nelson to Rhodes. Rhodes. And it's going to stay with the Squires. Checking in for the Squires is 33 in Van Workum. A pair of substitutions for the Chargers. And Nelson has it for the Squires. Gets it over to Van Workum. Van Workum over to Rhodes. It's going to be intercepted by the Chargers. 3:10 to go. It's Lubbers with the ball. She's going to get fouled by the counterpart, number 12, in Morgan Hartman. Be her second. And the Squires team, too. Becker's in for Hartman, who just picked up her second foul. That's Vanderschaff with the basketball. Gets it in to Muhlenberg. Samantha Muhlenberg. She gets the rebound off the backboard. The side of the backboard, and foul is going to be on number 14, I believe, of the Squires. Vanderwall, her second, team third. Just a tick under 3. So Samantha Muhlenberg with the ball for the Covenant Christian Chargers. DeVries had it. And that's over to 30 in Van Overloop. Shot no good. Backdoor rebound is good for number 14, Samantha Muhlenberg, and she's going to be shooting 2. Nelson picks up her second, team 4th. And at the line to shoot 2 will be Muhlenberg, who's 1 for 2, I believe, from the line. She has 4 points now and pulls up within 1. Chance to tie it here on the next free throw. The 5'8" junior on the line to shoot 2, and she gets all 2. And we're tied at 12 with 2:45 to go. They'll work it up to Van Workum, but it's going to be stolen by the Covenant Christian Chargers with 2.5 to go. They're going to work it up the court. They'll work it around to 2, and Vanderschaff the triple, no good. Rhodes with the rebound, and she is tripled, almost double teamed. Gets over to Nelson to Van Workum. And Rhodes, that's going to be over and back. And yes, it is. Just in the, it was so close that Rhodes took the foot. It was in the backcourt. She fielded the ball in the backcourt. She would have been in the air. It still would have been backcourt. She had to retain possession in the front court, not the backcourt. That's 3 in Holsteg with the basketball. She'll put it up for 2, and she's fouled by the Squires. Number 23, Becker, her first, team 5th. So Covenant will be shooting 2 the rest of the way. At least for the 2 minutes and 14 seconds to go. First one is no good for number 3, Holsteg. Walcott in for Becker. One more for number 3, Holsteg. It's 1 for 2 from the line. She'll go she's 0 for 1. She makes it 1 for 2. Kind of gave her the point before she got the point. Now they lead by 1, 13-12. It's been 6 8-5, scoring here in the third with 2 minutes to go. And let's see what it is. It's going to be held ball. It's going to favor Covenant. Nobody really had no control of the ball there. It's like a rugby scrum. Minute 55 to go. Third quarter. Boys game will follow. Being a separate broadcast. Brought to you by Mr. Matt Fabiano on the call. As Nelson gets the loose ball, gets it up to Rhodes. Rhodes up. Rhodes good. Addie Rhodes now has 11 of the 14. And we're going to have a timeout to head coach Doug Kaptein. And let's see what it is. It's going to be a 30. One minute and 30 seconds to go. 14-13 is the score. Covenant on trailing by 1. The Squires up by 1. Jim is just about stretched to the limits here. These two Costron rivals battle it out on the basketball court tonight. And it's just before our Christmas break. And in case you want to watch some, you want to really get into some basketball, we got a quad header tomorrow. That's 4 teams. The East versus the West. We'll have that coverage here on the Ville Sports Network. Grandville plays Grand Blanc and Hudsonville plays Detroit Catholic Central at the Hudsonville Showcase at the Hudsonville Fieldhouse. Covenant's having a hard time controlling the ball, but it's been right back to Covenant after Kelvin gets the good block. Good boxing out here by Kelvin. Prevent passes from going inside the arc. Ooh, triple try was thought by Holsteg. They'll try to work it inside. It's going to be stolen by Van Workum. Gets it over to Nelson. Nelson has it for the Squires. We're under a minute to go. As they lead by 1 to the Squires, and it's going to stay with the Squires. Nope, it's going to go to the Chargers. Checking in for the Chargers, Brands. Replacing Vanderschaft. Tallest girl on the team is 5'10" for Covenant, and tallest girl for Kelvin is 6 foot in Hendrick, who has not played yet. So Rhodes is the second tallest at 5'10". And basket for Walcott. She gets in the book. And the lead is now 3 at 16-13. 30 seconds to go here in our third. Triple try, no good. And she gets her own rebound. That's Brands. And it's going to be a loose ball. It's going to go to Calvin after it goes off of Lubbers. It's going to be a heck of the fourth quarter. 29 points overall. I think that's the lowest ever in a WCTD history. It's a triple try in and out for the Squires. That's Rhodes. Triple try in the opposite corner, no good. And Rhodes gets the rebound, gets it over to Nelson. Nelson out to Van Workum, the triple, no good. And 3, and that's how we'll end our third quarter with a score. The Squires 16, the Covenant Christian Chargers 13. When we return, you're watching the Ville Sports Network and WCTV, your local cable access station. Welcome back to the Ville Sports Network and WCTV, your local cable access station. We're at Calvin Christian High School where the Calvin Christian Squires after have a lead by 3 after 3 quarters of play. 16-13 is the score. The Squires are led by Rhodes 11, 3 for Nelson and 2 for Walcott. While Holsteg for Covenant has 1. 5 for Muhlenberg. That's Samantha Muhlenberg. She has 3 fouls. 5 apiece, or also for Brower, and 2 for Macy Holsteg. How the scoring goes. It's going to be Eddie Rhodes with the ball for the Kelvin Christian Squires. So they'll start with the basketball. It's Nelson. Nelson on the drive, puts one up, no good. And the rebound will go to Muhlenberg. Muhlenberg guarded by Nelson. Work it up top to the the Chargers, and inside in almost an easy basket for number 22 in Annika Bauer. That'll be her second, team first of the fourth. 16-13 remains the score, 7:39 to go. Nelson got it from Rhodes, gets it back to Rhodes. They'll work it inside. Back out to Nelson. Rhodes in the corner. Looking for somebody open. Finds 24 in Durham. Inside, no good, is number 20 in Gritter. And Covenant has the basketball. It's been a little game of hot potato as of late. And inside, good job by number 20. Annika Brower gets the scoring going, and she gets her 7th point of the night. And it's now 16-15. Chargers trail by 1. As Rhodes has it. And she's going to be fouled right back by number 32, I believe. Or 22, in Annika Brower. That'll be her third. Second team foul for Covenant. 16-15 is the score, 6:40 to go. That's Nelson with the basketball. Nelson on the drive will back it out to 24 in Durham. That's Nelson. 6.5 to go. Gets it over to Durham, back to Rhodes. To Gritter. And Gritter retains possession if it's knocked out by number 4 of the Chargers, Kelsvik. Shot is good for Layla Nelson. It's been the Leah Nelson and the Road Show. 18-15 is the score, just a tick under 6. The 2-point shot is good. The bank is still open for 32 in Muhlenberg. 18-17 is the score, just trading baskets now are both teams. Squires lead by 1, so he's stolen by the Chargers of Covenant Christian. They'll work it up court. It's Muhlenberg. Baseline drive, puts one up, no good. And Covenant gets the 3-point shot, no good. Shot is also no good by Muhlenberg. They get the 5th time the chance, no good. And Rhodes is hacked, but no call. As Walcott gets it over to Nelson. Nelson, and we're going to have a timeout. Full timeout. Head coach Ben DeWall-Millfight wanted the timeout. Gets one. So 5:08 to go here in our first quarter. It's 18-17 is the score. I think we scored more points than we ever did, it feels like. But we haven't. The most points in a quarter is 2. Nope, 7. Oh, 7-7 after halftime. So it's 7-7. 7 points is the most we scored. But it's 9 for the Squires, actually. 9 for the Squires. They're in the third quarter. They scored 9. But if you go back to the second quarter, Covenant was held off the scoreboard. And Kelvin only scored 2, so really that second quarter is the tail of the ball game right now. So they only scored 2 points. As Covenant trails by 1, 18-17. A timeout by head coach Ben DeWall-Millfight. Glad you could join us from Kelvin Christian High School. Hopefully you're enjoying this Ville Sports Network presentation of high school basketball in the 100th year of MHSAA basketball, or MHSAA sports. That one goes off right to the fans, but right back to the referee. And I think I know a couple of those fans sitting right in the bottom row getting the front row seat. It's one of the best seats in the house. Besides our best seat in the house, brought to you by Interspace Mini Storage. Imster Top Hunstein. Rhodes good. Rhodes picks up her 13th point of the evening. 4:42 to go. A 3-point lead for the Squires. 20-17 is the score. Triple can tie it, and that's going to be stolen right by Walcott. Walcott's trying to get something going, and we're going to have a timeout to head coach Walt Malphite. And it's going to be a 30-second timeout. I don't think he wanted to call that timeout there, but he had to call it when Walcott was stuck in no man's land with nobody around. Walt's going to be on the far corner for the Squires. I think they have 2 timeouts remaining. I believe the Squires do. Yes, they do. I think Covenant has 2 timeouts remaining. They have 3. 20-17 is the score. We just took a timeout. A timeout was brought to you by DJ's Pizza Pub in Hudsonville Plaza across the street right from Ace Hardware. Gimmons, Ace Hardware. As we get close to the bowl games, you might want to go to not Interspace Mini Storage. You might want to go to DJ's Pizza Pub and watch your favorite NCAA football team. Also watch any kind of sports. Basketball's on right now. Hockey. As Rhodes has it right in front of me. She gets half court. She'll take it down the court. It's going to be loose ball controlled by the the Chargers. Chargers in the road black with gold, kind of goldish yellow. It's a triple try. No good. And a backdoor rebound is given to the Chargers. That's Muhlenberg. He'll drive in, put it up. Good. Samantha Muhlenberg with 7 now. And that gets the scoring, or the 6 points now for the quarter for the Chargers. And they trail by 1, 20-19. A low-scoring basketball game, especially as we're almost a little over halfway through the 4th. But it's 2 well-played, hard-fought teams battling on the court. 3.5 to go. 20-19 is the score. 6 points to 4. Covenant has the lead here in the 4th in scoring. I think fouling is going to have to be a key if you get late into the ball game. I think fouls going to have to mount up. Right now it's only 2-0, so it's been a wild officiated game. As Rhodes the triple, good. She goes right down the court and puts it in for 2. She has 16 now. 23-19, 2:50 to go. Nice pass by Muhlenberg inside and no good. That's Samantha Muhlenberg on the rebound. She'll get it back. She'll pull the deep 3. No good. She'll get it back. Second time charm, no good for Muhlenberg. And Walcott gets it over to Rhodes. To Nelson. 2:20 to go. Nelson to triple. No good. Nice box out by the Covenant Christian Chargers. They trail by 4. 23-19. 2 minutes to go. And we're going to have a timeout, a full timeout to Covenant Christian. And it'll be inbounded right in front of me. Right beside me, or beside the table here. 23-19 is the score. Like to join us from Calvin Christian High School for this non-conference basketball game between 2 familiar foes. After tonight, they will not see each other till next year. Usually they play in district basketball, but they will not be playing in district basketball. It's the 0-2 Chargers from Covenant against the 0-3 Calvin Christian Squires. Coming games coming up. Covenant's at home for the next two. They play North Point from the OK Silver. Well, the River City Alliance. That's the first time I think we mentioned River City Alliance this year. And Allendale. While Calvin Christian will be on the road at Potter's House from the Alliance League. They'll be home against for the new year. They'll be playing Kellogg'sville from the OK Silver. They said Calvin Christian coming in the game 0-3 overall. Right now the leader on top is Belding at 2-0. As the Covenant Christian Chargers will start with the basketball after the timeout by head coach Kaptein. That's Muhlenberg. Gets it over to 32 in Muhlenberg. From Muhlenberg to Muhlenberg inside, and Covenant get... And 3 seconds is the call. It's going to be on number 22, Annika Bauer. She stood in lane for too many seconds. That's going to be Nelson back to Rhodes. Rhodes with a full head of steam. She'll go forward. She'll pass it out to Nelson, who thought about the three. She'll drive, put it back out to Rhodes, to Durham. They'll work it off the corner to Nelson. Nelson on the baseline drive. And they're playing a little keep away are the Squires. As they lead by 4, and it'll be a full timeout to head coach Ben DeWall Melifite. You have 1 timeout remaining, I believe, or 2, or 3. Our scoreboard doesn't reflect really how many timeouts. So we can start with 3 on the board, but it's 5 total. So 23-19 is the score. The scoring in this quarter is 6 for Covenant and 7 for Kelvin. We'll get you our post-game stats, scoring, and our takeaways from the game after the conclusion of this non-conference game. We're sitting courtside. On the opposite side is the pitcher, is where we're sitting. So Calvin Christian will have the basketball with 1:19 to go. I think if Covenant wants to get back in the ballgame, they got to start fouling. Getting fouls on Calvin. Fouls are only 2-0. 2-0. That's Walcott with the basketball. Which will tick near the 1-minute mark. That's Durham to Nelson. Nelson to Rhodes. Rhodes playing a little keep away. Walcott to Durham. 1 minute to go. It could be a long minute, but right now Covenant's not. They're looking to foul, but they cannot get a foul to be called. It's going to go over to Covenant. Nice defense there by Covenant to force the turnover. This is where Covenant's got to take charge here in the next 51 seconds. But the Kelvin defense has to stiffen up. They want to win the ball game. They can't let Covenant penetrate or get any easy shots. The triple try in the corner for Muhlenberg. In and out. And we're going to have a held ball. Yes, held ball. And it's going to favor the Covenant Christian Chargers. I was waiting for the foul call there, too, because Kelvin was draped all over Covenant there. 30 seconds to go. The triple try. Good! By Muhlenberg. Samantha Muhlenberg. And the Covenant Christian Chargers only trail by 1 with 18 seconds to go. And they will foul Rhodes. Samantha Muhlenberg hits the triple. She has 10. Coach Captine wants a foul right immediately, and I agree with them because they're only trailing by 1, 23-22. Fouls 3-0 Covenant, and it's going to stay with Calvin with 16.7 seconds to go. Still not over. It's not over till the buzzer goes off. That's stolen by Covenant. Covenant looking to break away from the ball game. They'll work it outside. They'll work it around the triple try. 7 seconds to go. Calvin has a foul on the floor, and it's going to stay underneath the basket with 4.9. Fouls on number 22. Indica Brower, her fourth. Team foul 4. Covenant does not want to. If Covenant is smart here, they do not want to foul. But that will be foul number 5, and it's going to go to Calvin. It's going to stay with Calvin with 4.6. 23-22 is the score. Covenant trailing by 1. Ball's on their side of the court, and that's a foul number 32. And shooting 2, that's Muhlenberg's third, and following shooting 2 will be the Squires. Shooting 2 to put, basically right now she hits both. They're only down by 3 with 3.6. Anything still can happen in the ball game, especially with 3.6. And I think what Coach Captine is telling them, we might want to call a time. We might be calling a timeout here. The first one is good for number 1, Walcott. Avery Walcott is point number 3 in the book, looking to point 4 and get a 3-point lead. Coach Captine will call a timeout after if it's made, and we're going to get a timeout. That'll be 4 points now for Walcott, and Covenant will take a timeout, trailing by 3, 25-22. And right now, the player of the game right now is Avery Walcott, because she can really, it's Avery Walcott right now, who has 4 points. She has what could be the clincher from the line. Was a 1-point lead. It's now a 3-point lead as Walcott goes 2 for 2 from the line. Rhodes unofficially has 16 right now to lead the Squires. Right now 10 for Muhlenberg, who had it within at least 1. Hits the 3-point basket. And we're going to call a timeout. And once it gets to the half court, at least the half court, Coach Captine is probably going to call another timeout and set something up. And Eddie Rhodes is going to get fouled in the backcourt. I think we're just going to call it right there. I think we have about 0.2 on the clock, maybe. Number 22 is going to get the foul. That's going to be Annika Bowers, her fifth. Or is it 32? If it's 20, we'll see who the foul is on here. I think it's it is Annika Brower. She will foul out with 7 unofficially. And the game is still not over with 1.0 on the clock. A good game played by Annika Brower. She'll foul out with 5 fouls and 7 points. And the line to shoot 2 will be Rhodes. And there is the nail in the coffin. Eddie Rhodes has 17. She has 1 more. She hits 1 more. It's going to be 18. She has 17 in the book. She misses. She has 17. And our final score is the Covenant Christian Chargers 22. The Covenant Christian Squires 26. What a hard-fought basketball game to the last few seconds. This Covenant Christian will fall to 0-3 overall. Kelvin will go to 1-3 overall. Kelvin Christian in that quarter, the hard-fought basketball game. Aaliyah Holstig will finish with 1. 2 for Macy Holstig, 7 for Annika Bauer, who just fouled out. 2 for Brooklyn Muhlenberg, and leading the Chargers with 10 points on the evening was Samantha Muhlenberg. And for the victorious Kelvin Christian Squires, who moved their record to 1-3 overall. 4 for Avery Walcott as Matt Fabiano joins me in the booth. Layla Nelson has 5, and 17 from Addie Rhodes, who you can't really, as we go into our post-game show, you can't really give any love to any team tonight because it was a hard-fought basketball game. You kind of give it to Kelvin, who really battled it out near the end after Samantha Muhlenberg hit that triple to pull it within 1.
And
Wow.
what a game, Brian. What a game.
You said it.
It seemed like it really was going to be kind of not boring,
No.
but uneventful is more like it with in that first half, and that's really set the tone. It seemed like that was going to be the rest of the game, but no, it turned around and was actually, a very exciting game at the end. Relatively low scoring as we thought it would be, but not terribly low scoring.
We thought it could be a high-scoring game looking at what both teams scored, but a hard-fought basketball game, especially for Covenant, who really, they led the game 7-0, and Kelvin just outscored Covenant, but Covenant came back late in the ballgame to pull it within 1, but late free throws kind of sealed it for Kelvin.
One big difference I noticed, and it wasn't on the court necessarily, but it was the student sections. The whole first half, the student sections were very quiet. Nothing was going on in the student sections, which I don't blame them. But those teams came out after halftime. Both were on their feet and loud. I think that really changed the momentum for both teams in this game.
Yeah. One thing that really I think helps a basketball team is a student section, because I think they kind of feel off that. But I think one advantage for the second half is you're by your own team, your own bench, your own student section usually. And the Squire squad usually is very, very, very loud. But they weren't real loud in that game. But late in the ball game, I think it came down to really fundamentals of the playing a hard-fought basketball game.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, a hard-fought game to the end from both teams.
And you can't really credit. It came really down to who really won that basketball game late in the ball game, and I think what really proved it was Addie Rhodes. Mm-hmm. Addie Rhodes really took it on her shoulders and propelled that team to a victory.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. We talked about at halftime about that teams having that nucleus of those key players, or maybe that one key player, and that Kelvin didn't have that strong foundation, but she really formed that in this last half.
So, once again, that final score was the Kelvin Christian Squires winning the ball game from the hands of Addie Rhodes, who finished with 17 points. 26-22 was that final. So for Matt Fabiano and yours truly, Brian Waring, once again, we're going to sign off here from Kelvin. And thanks for watching the Ville Sports Network and WCT TV.